Hey, it's Bruce, author of Freedom's Quest on Amazon, Florida history story. And on Kindle Vella, my sci-fi story, Woodpecker. This is part of my continuing Lost History Kennedy Space Center tour. History in the making. Hey, right behind me is the 4-story Amazon building they're going to make satellites for their new internet system. I think that's correct. But you know, the real lost history is, I'm not very far away from what's known as the Elliott Plantation. And so during the British period, parts of Florida were explored and settled. William Bartram came down here and explored, the naturalist. And then the Turnbill Creek is right over here on the other side of the river. Which was kind of like the south end of the New Smyrna Turnbill, the failed Turnbill Greek and some Minorcan colony. But the Elliott Plantation was literally lost to history for 300 years. It was only discovered when some people going through archives in England were going through rum records, and they discovered there was a plantation here on the Space Center at the north end 300 years ago. The amazing part is, you know, when the British pulled out and the Spanish took over, took their empire back, more or less, the rum works was lost to records, and it was known as the overseer was called, whose name was Ross. So for years, it was just called Ross Hammock, those ruins. And it's kind of neat, on the Seminole War maps, there were little notes that said old ruins and then Ross Hammock. But when the archaeologists dug up the Ross Hammock, it turned out it was the most well-preserved rum works on the East Coast. And there's the way the sugar cane was milled, and gravity used to move the pulp, and showed the fire how it was the stuff was boiled. There were 80 slaves, and there was records of 2 hurricanes, them lasting through 2 hurricanes before the business gave up, probably because the Brits pulled out. But who knows? The mosquitoes are tough here on base, and no seams. But anyway, that was my brief Ross Hammock Elliott Plantation story. It was true lost history on the Space Center. And a final look at that amazing building behind me. Hey, we're going to the moon. Bruce out. Val, we're going to the moon again. Out.